happy hump day. That's right. Middle of the work week. The weekend's long gone, but the next weekend it's getting closer, and we're in that midweek hump. One of my favorite days. Today, we need to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. Don't go anywhere. We need to discuss it. We'll be right back.
Previously on the Nerdy Ronin Network.
What? What? We're live? Crap. Squeaky.
Happy Wednesday. I just love Wednesdays. First off, Wednesday is coffee day, so my folks come over and we have coffee. That's always enjoyable. But other than that, it means the weekend is getting close. It means Friday is getting closer, right? And we all love the weekend. Hey, like and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate it. It lets us know we're doing a good job. New subscribers, hello. Old subscribers, hello. We love you all equally. In the description box down below are links to stuff we use, our website, our merch page, etc. But stuff we use on a daily basis here. And I noticed earlier that the Blackout coffee code, or the link, for some reason is separating. So if you're going to click that link, make sure you highlight the whole thing, copy it, and then paste it into your browser. And make sure you use that promo code to save you some of your hard-earned bucks. Just to get that out of the way, I will try to figure out what's wrong with it, because none of my other links are doing that. But if you have any question at all, you can go to our website, and all the links are right there. So, easy peasy lemon squeezy, just click of a button. All right, a little history. Deadpool 1 was not only a fantastic movie, it was a great origin story. It did everything you needed it to. Now, that being said, these are the movies we're talking about today are all rated R. And I would even say hard R for the violence and the language specifically. Some people are not going to be able to sit through the crassness of Ryan Reynolds' jokes, or Deadpool's jokes, if you will. And the first movie did have a middle scene that was quite sexual, and there may or may not have even been a little bit of partial nudity. So be forewarned. All right, the second movie does not have the nudity, but the language and the violence ramps up some. So just keep this in mind. We're talking about violent comic book movies. These are not for kids. None of these are. If you're taking your kids to see these, or you're watching these with your kids, you may need to rethink things. But hey, that's for you to decide. But anyway, the first one is a great origin story. They did a great job. It showed that they truly loved the character and the story and what they were building upon, the world building, the character building. They just did a fine job. And a great introduction to a character that is extremely not the norm for superheroes, if you will. So that's that. The second movie, in my opinion, was a bit better than the first. The story made sense. The Cable character was great. It added to the world, showed more characters with a complex, well-developed story. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't have any complaints there. I know some people, sequels are normally not as good. They're usually a little underrated as far as the way when they build on these. And once a sequel starts, it usually starts flipping downhill. But there are a few exceptions where sequels are better than the original. I won't go that far as to say the second one is better than the original, but I feel like it stepped up a notch in the story. Like it didn't drop any. right? So equal to, or maybe just a smidge better, because I really enjoyed the portrayal of Cable. I thought they played that really well. And Josh Brolin did a fantastic job as Cable. So now we get to today. And this weekend, I went and watched the movie at the theater. I show you this because I don't have a $40 popcorn bucket. And even if I had the $40 to spend on a popcorn bucket, which I don't, we don't have an AMC theater anywhere near us. And when they advertised those popcorn buckets, what they didn't tell you is you could only get those at AMC. All we have is a Malco and another Malco. They had these cups, and they sold out of them opening day. I went in early. I went on Sunday to watch the movie. I went in on Friday afternoon and just went up to the concession stand and bought a soda, bought a cup. I wanted the cup if they had one. I didn't know at the time if they had one or not. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Why do you guys do this to me? Let's take a look here at number 3, baby. Deadpool and Wolverine, 2024, rated R, 2 hours and 8 minutes. I cannot wait to see a director's cut of this and to own this on physical media. Honestly, I will save my pennies and buy the trilogy in 4K if it has enough special features. I really will. All right, let's get into it. Deadpool is offered a place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe by the Time Variance Authority, the stupidest people on the planet, the TVA from the Loki TV show, which nobody liked. But instead recruits a variant of Wolverine to save his universe from extinction. That synopsis leaves so much out, it doesn't even make sense. Directed by Shawn Levy, written by Ryan Reynolds, Rhett Reese, and Paul Wernick. Starring Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and Emma Corrin, among many, many cameos. All right? A huge amount. It's in the 20s how many cameos this movie has in it. I'm going to give you my 2 negatives before we talk about any further about this. As much as I enjoyed this movie, okay, the thought process, because there's timelines, the multiverse garbage of bringing the Time Variance Authority into this movie as a crucial part of it was a bad move. I don't care if you liked the Loki TV show. The majority of people did not. It was horribly written, and the TVA needs to stop. If you want to put that in your TV shows, Disney, you go right ahead. But in the movies, keep your hands off. If you can't trust your directors and whatnot to do a good job, just back away slowly from your story ideas. And secondly, the villain in this movie, the bald chick, Charles Xavier's unknown sister or whatever. She was dressed stupid and she was horrid. It was just not good for me. I didn't like that. I didn't like her character. All right. That being said, this movie's fantastic. It is not as good as 1 or 2. I'm just saying it. It's not. Yes, I know. After 20 years, we got to see Wolverine in his mask, in the actual costume, the way he originally should have been done. And Hugh Jackman plays him fantastically. I mean, it just is really well done. But there are some misfires in this movie. The dialogue, the jokes, the one-liners, they have really ramped it up to 1,000. The violence also ramped up to 1,000. The weak link is the TVA and the villain. If you would have just found a way to write the story around Wolverine and Deadpool without adding all that garbage, it's unnecessary. You even had the monster from one of your TV shows in it as a part of it. Stop it. There's a reason a huge majority of comic fans don't watch your TV shows, Marvel/Disney. They're horribly written. Anyway, now I'm going to tell you, I've seen some people on social media, influencers, if you will, or whatever, who are Christians. I'm going to tell you, there's a line in this movie, a joke, if you will, where Deadpool is told that he is the most important person from his timeline, but his timeline is dying. Okay? So the TVA pull him out of his timeline and are offering to put him in the sacred timeline because he's so important. You with me? Which is exciting to him because he wants to be somebody, right? But that's going, like, they're going to let his timeline die. And so when they tell him he's going in the sacred timeline, the joke he says is he's like a Marvel Jesus. First things first. Are you trying to say, Holly, weird, that Jesus is sacred to some people? Maybe. But that line has caused so much divisiveness because these people went to this movie and left the movie when that line gets put out there because they consider it sacrilegious. Okay. Deadpool in this movie, in this imaginary movie about imaginary superheroes, about an imaginary multiverse, and an imaginary sacred timeline, never said he was Jesus. He was like Marvel Jesus. Can you not logic that out? Because it comes across quite dumb and hypocritical, to be fair, that you want to post all over social media how you are such good Christians, you left because you felt that line or this film was sacrilegious, and warn people who were Christians not to go see it. But you went to this knowing it's rated R. It's the third in a series, so obviously you've seen the other two, one of which has nudity and lots of violence and lots of language. Second one, lots of language, lots of violence. And this, the trailers have all shown it's like hyper violent and hyper adult language. Yet you're going to nitpick that line to show how good a Christian you are? Get your priorities in order. What are you doing? I just thought I'd bring that up. I literally laughed out loud when I saw these people humble bragging about how they left the movie because it was sacrilegious. Marvel Jesus is not the same thing as Jesus Christ. I mean, is that hard to understand? Maybe for some people. Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I really want to go see it again, but I'm not going to. I'm going to wait till it comes out, physical media. I'm going to buy it so I can sit here and enjoy it at home. 2 hours and 8 minutes. I loved every minute of it. There was so much good to this. This is just dumb fun. The storyline is not, I would even say it's not super great, but it's entertaining. And with two characters that you've wanted to see teamed up for years. And one character finally being treated with the respect they deserved 20 years ago and were never given. So, yeah, I'm giving it a plus. It's got a great rating. People are loving this movie. And every once in a while, you'll see somebody complaining about this movie, talking about how it's so bad. I don't know what movie you saw, but it was entertaining. And it was a buddy film that made sense, with the exception of the villain being horrible and the TVA. Everything else was just popcorn. You knew what you were getting into when you walked in the theater. You know who Deadpool is by now, if you've seen the other movies. He's irreverent. He's crass. He talks trash about everybody, and boy did he. So, it is what it is. Was it perfect? No. Was it horrible? Oh no, not at all. In my opinion. Did you see it? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. I'm running long, so I'm going to get out of here. But I'd like to know what you thought. All right. Till Friday, Kung Fu Friday, we're going to go. For Michael's microphone, Bob, squeaky chair in the back, and this big fat Deadpool and Wolverine loving nerd. We'll see you then.